Hello, everyone, and happy Avatar Day! Today we're going to be talking about Avatar: The Legend of Korra's first season on the Mixed Bag.
Special edition? Who do these guys think they are, George Lucas?
I'm one of the hosts, Sean, or Imple, and you can find me on DumbledoreShotFirst.blogspot.com. And with me is...
Zach Martin, also co-host. You can find me on Facebook or my blog, which I still haven't updated. Really need to do that. Sanityofaccollegestudent.blogspot.com. You can also find me on Steam, a dangerous mute lunatic. And this week we actually have a special guest! Yay! So, who is this special guest, you may ask? Well, let's let him introduce himself. Yeah.
Well, I'm Chase Devine. Hello. I live in a dumpster. I'm not even good with a computer. I don't know how I got on here. Oh God, help me. Yeah, I'm done here.
Well,
All right.
You reminded us of the hobo from The Legend of Korra.
That's kind of what I was aiming for.
We call him Beauteous Hobo.
I see what you did there.
All right, so just so you all know, everybody who's listening, all five of you, that this podcast is going to be spoilerific. There will be spoilers out the wazoo. There will be spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. So from this moment on, you have been warned. We are going to be spoiling shit off the wazoo. Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. Let's keep going.
Wait, whoa, off topic, and whoa, what if there's that one person I know that hasn't actually seen that yet?
Well, then you can bleep it.
Oh.
Azula kills Dumbledore.
Dumbledore shot first. Plug! All right. So let's
Sponsor!
talk about The Legend of Korra. So, Zach, as you know, I am a huge Legend of Korra fan.
I'm a bigger Legend of Korra fan than you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Did
I'm a
you do a
bigger
whole
Legend
week of
Korra
articles
fan.
about The Legend of Korra?
Did you complain to Nick.com about the Legend of Korra?
No,
Why would you go to
because you're
Nick.com?
crazy.
Because this was a thing where basically they would start to spoil, like, you gotta give a preview for next week's episode, but the next week episode preview would spoil the entire episode. So I sent them a complaint saying, hey, the episode you spoiled? Thanks. You wasted 20 minutes of my time.
Such an internet. So yeah. If you read my blog and you listen to the podcast, you know that we're big fans. If you read my blog, you know that I've been a big fan of this show since like the second it came on. I even wrote a top 11 list about it. But we're gonna talk about the whole season, and we're gonna give a little retrospective. Talk about the characters, talk about the themes, and all that stuff.
Well, the first question I have for you, Sean, is how did you first hear about the Legend of Korra? Like, the first time you heard about it. Where were you?
I mean,
and
it was the first time I heard about it just in general.
yes, like the announcement of we are making this thing.
I probably saw an article on io9.com, which is a sci-fi website that gives a lot of sci-fi news. It said that there was either going to be a short mini-series or a new series.
What about you, Chase? Do you remember where you were?
Oh, it was a fine day. It was a Sunday afternoon. I had returned from the fields, picking my apples from the garden. What?
Was that right after your dog got hit by the apple truck?
Yes, I had to put little Timmy to rest.
So the point is, Zach, when do you remember when you heard about it?
I do. I was in a tent in the middle of National Jamboree, and I believe it was a Wednesday, and I got my dad's computer and I was checking my YouTube feed, and I was subscribed to this channel called Beyond the Trailer. And Beyond the Trailer had this huge 5-minute video, I know, huge, just about this announcement, and they had early concept art and everything, and I about shat my pants there in that tent. So, I mean, ever since then, I was just absolutely, when's it coming out? When's it coming out? Oh, what's that? The first episode got leaked. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. And I did find it.
Yeah.
And ever
Yeah.
since, yeah, I mean, this show has really, from episode one, just taken me by storm. I believe all its fans really, and just blown us away with the amount of quality, the respect to the original series, and the fresh and innovative new way of storytelling that they've done in this new series.
Just gonna give you guys the warning that for this subject, I'm probably gonna end up being the villain because while I really love this show, I actually have plenty of quibbles with it right now.
Oh yeah, there's like plot holes and like quibbles. I mean, you
Issues
can
with
seriously-
tone.
Yes, absolutely, out the ass. But you know,
So much shipping.
So I guess we can start with, what did you think about the idea of like just like like the introduction to the premise? Like, so this is obviously a sequel to the original series,
Mm-hmm.
which that's a good thing. I'm happy that they didn't go for a prequel.
God.
And there's gonna be a female. There's gonna be female Avatar, which I have to say I thought that was a cool idea. I think for me, once I realized that it was it's 100 years in the future, the technology's changed, the culture's changed, just the whole world has changed of Avatar.
Was it 100
No,
years?
and the-
I thought it was 80 years.
I thought it was 70.
It's not. Yeah, it's been like 70. I over exaggerated, but the point is, it's almost a generation leap.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And everything has changed.
I love the
Um,
steampunk-esque feel to it, like almost like a 1920s.
Yeah, I feel like the aesthetics kind of mix Hong Kong. It's kind of like a mix of like 1920s gangsterish Hong Kong with futuristic Tokyo.
Yeah, exactly, almost like a Neo Tokyo.
So
there's like a little-
steampunk.
It's almost steampunk, but I wouldn't say steampunk.
I'd say considering that like everything is powered by steam.
I'd have to
There's
agree with Chase.
electricity,
Steampunk.
there's
Yes,
electricity.
there is.
and not everything runs on Steam, so that doesn't even make sense.
But the giant
And
mecha
there's not a bunch of
tanks.
crappy, useless knobs on things.
Giant mecha tanks.
There are no crappy, useless knobs on anything.
Well, thank God for that. But mecha tanks.
I'm just throwing that out there. But
Okay, I just gotta okay. For those yet again spoilers. How about that mech fight?
the mech fight,
mech
I
fight.
immediately thought, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
I was just like, oh my God, Avatar, please become a mecha series. I will
No.
love you forever.
If you want to see, I'm the exact opposite. That would kill it for me. It would kill
Uh,
it so hard.
Dude, okay.
I
Have you
love
seen-
I love superpowers. I hate robots.
What do you put superpowers with those robots?
No, because it just comes about the robots. That's what happens every time.
Have you seen Gurren Lagann?
Fetishist.
Dude, spirals.
Spirals are everywhere.
But yeah, the mech fight was cool.
Oh.
What was your So your favorite piece of technology? I'm guessing was the mechs.
Mechs. I love the mechs being introduced for absolutely no reason.
What about you, Zach?
That was great.
What's your favorite piece of technology?
My favorite piece of technology was the Iron Man rip-off glove. I really thought
Iron
that
Man
was-
ripoff glove?
Yes, it looked like Tony Stark's Iron Man.
To me, it just looked like kind of a generic gauntlet, but that's cool.
That's what I'm saying. It had the ball in the center, and it looked like a glove, and it would take people out really fast. I really like that. It's quick, it's stealthy. You can have them in mass produce. It's not gonna be as bumbling as the mechas.
If I had to choose a favorite invention, I would probably say it's the cars they have in the series.
Ooh, nice.
They added a lot of it adds a lot of atmosphere to have all these cars driving around. They
Mhm.
look very different. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. They just looked really cool. They look like they fit the aesthetics of the place they're in. What else could we talk about before we get into spoilers of the last episode? What what do you think about the characters?
I feel they're extremely well balanced, and I'm just gonna say this, like My Little Pony, they both have their strengths and weaknesses.
I'm gonna say I feel like the characters are well developed, in the sense that by the end of the last series, the characters were all well developed by the end of the second season. But what we'll get into my gripes is I feel like everything in the series feels kind of rushed.
Extremely rushed. That's why I kind of wished it was a 24 episode season rather than a 12.
Well,
Yeah,
granted,
I mean-
whenever they first made this, they kind of had to rush it because they thought they were only going to get this season.
Yes, I mean
And
that's
if you watch that
that's evident.
season finale, it does appear that it's like you almost don't need a season 2.
yeah.
Like, seriously, what questions are left at the end of that episode?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna get into. Like, that's probably all my problems with that end of that season. The end of this season are that everything is answered so quickly. Nothing's resolved. There's no actual. Here's what's crazy. The characters have depth to them, but I feel like within the 12 episodes, we haven't had enough time with any of the characters alone for any particular amount of time for them to have any kind of development.
Yeah, there's no single episodes where you go off with Bolin for
No.
an entire episode like there was in Avatar. You don't get those moments. It's all plot.
That's the thing, is in the first season of the original series, it felt like they were just kind of flopping around pointlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't know what they'd go with the show. They kind of were like, is this like a villain of the week show? Like, where, not even a villain of the week, just like they go somewhere, Zuko messes that up kind of thing? Or was this supposed to be an episodic show where we're actually seeing progress between each episode? And I feel like they get to season 2 and they still have that journey aspect, which allows for them to have all these side adventures that allow them to develop the characters. Nothing felt rushed after the second season. Once the second season started going, everything felt like it was taking its time appropriately.
And that's
And then
also
by the end
because
of-
after then we had like a more direct, focused timeline of what events need to happen.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know,
what
they
the
meet
third
the
season
library,
feels like.
they hear Sozin's comet, they know they have to do this before it comes back.
Exactly, and I feel like with this whole first season, we don't have the season and a half of development that we got with the last series. I felt like we're just kind of rushed through all of the events in 12 episodes, and there's no real deviation from the plot, if that makes sense.
It doesn't take its time to breathe. I will agree with you that. I mean, here's something that really for the past two-ish last episodes, not including the finale, they were almost setting up Asumi. Is that her name?
Asami.
Asami. Sorry. Asami is almost a jealous, could-be future antagonist. And then in the final episode, that goes nowhere. Like,
thought
all
that was
that
a
just
red herring.
disappears.
Mhm.
And it really felt like, oh, y'all are going somewhere with... No, you're not.
No, it's just going to be a lover's tryst that never really ends.
And to be honest, I think if that had happened, I would have been angry if she had betrayed them, because that would have just been weird.
It would have been extremely out of character, especially after she fought her father.
Well, they've made
yes.
it clear that she's a sensible character.
But
Like,
I
she's-
feel like they really did seem to drop the ball with her character near the end, that last episode.
I feel like they've kind of dropped the ball with, I think the only character that's really had any kind of development is maybe Korra?
And I wouldn't
Yeah.
even say Mako really had much development.
Oh, God.
He was
It-
still angsty. I'm Mako Batman. My parents died. I like my scarf.
I was worried about his character the moment he was introduced. I was like, okay, so here's the hot guy. And then over the last couple of episodes, I've just slowly started to hate him with a passion.
Why can't Bolin just get some loving? I don't understand.
Well, why can't Mako just be a normal guy who understand? I don't this drama crap.
I know it
It's
did feel
unnecessary.
rather forced.
It's silly. So that's the problem of making these characters that age, is because you expect them to have this kind of crap happen.
Well, I mean, granted, if you look at Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you even look at any of those relationships during then, when they're all like 12 and 14, it still felt incredibly awkward. Like, in a
But
more...
it didn't feel like we were being forced into some tryst or some love triangle. It felt more like it was a developing thing that was happening.
Well, granted, I'd be really confused if there was a love triangle between Aang, Katara, and Sokka. I'd be really scared. Probably wouldn't watch that show.
I was going for more like the fact that there's the obvious Katara and Zuko thing going on, and then there's
Well, they
definitely
definitely did touch
That
on
doesn't
that.
happen.
It did, but okay.
Zutara does not exist. Dear God, no.
Well, you know what? That's one of the things in my retrospective I did is I realized, you know what? I realized I don't hate Katara, and B, I realized that Zutara would have never worked.
God, no. Why? Never. No, just kill it.
No, but no. I have to say that's the relationships definitely have felt very forced. I feel like they've introduced a lot of characters that they haven't given them, like, if they introduced a character that was as important as Mako or Bobalin, or even like Iroh, because we got introduced in the finale. Usually in the last series, we would have had a whole episode or two to get to know them before something big happened.
I just wanted more of Boomy near the end.
Yes.
As I was talking to Zach about
5
this.
seconds? 5 seconds of screen time. And
Yes, and he is
He
my
said Wahoo.
favorite character.
I think he said Wahoo.
He said Wahoo, clapped, and like did like a
Um,
come at me bro gesture and smiled.
My favorite character
And
was General Rufio. I don't know what you think.
General Rufio.
Oh, do you
yeah.
mean Sparky Stickman?
No, Iroh.
Oh, Iroh. You said Rufio. I'm like, what?
The actor who played
Oh,
Rufio.
my bad.
Rufio. They're gonna make a Rufio movie. Did you know that?
I did hear.
Wait, oh,
God, why?
what?
I think it's a better idea than a lot of movies that could be made. But I don't think. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Hook, so we'll see.
Okay, something I've noticed y'all haven't talked about is, of course, the motherfucking boss, Chief Lin Beifong.
Yeah,
you didn't even remember her name a couple days ago.
It's a good thing. I
So-
have the
so here's the
Wikipedia up
thing.
right now, and I'm looking at all the characters' names.
So
Yeah.
first podcast we did, Podcast 0, talked about the episode Out of the Past,
Mm-hmm.
where we find out about Tarlok's father and everything, right? And we talked about the fact that we talked about our theories about what Amon was, right?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I was surprised that that they gave away everything the last 2 episodes of the season. Everything, they tell you everything, and B, that I was right.
The only thing I don't like about the reveal of who Amon is there was no way you could see it coming.
Oh, you
There was
could.
no subtle hints. There was no.
Yeah, there was. I already just said that I guessed it.
Him resisting Tarlok's bloodbending in
I
the
wait-
light of a full moon, and
I
he
said-
just walks through it.
If you go back and listen to the podcast, I said he has to be a waterbender.
Yeah,
guessing. That was
there-
my first guess.
What I'm getting at is you have no idea that he is.
Tarlok's brother?
Yes, there is
I didn't-
no way. You
I know.
would be
I know
able to
this is one of the things that's like, yeah, I'm gonna say this, but I thought about that.
Yes, I mean, I had a thought about that as well. I'm like,
I-
well,
Well,
what's their
shit,
brother?
I guess I'm just thick.
Yes.
Well,
You're not
Tarlok-
doing
this.
Remember, there was a time when people thought Tarlok was gonna be Amon.
Oh, I held on to that theory for quite some time until
until
they ran
like
into each
Amon
other.
appeared in front of Tarlok.
I
and it
was
like,
I
oh,
was sure he was a
shit.
red herring though, so I was like, no, he's not gonna be Amon. That would just be silly. That was my feeling on that. I was, but from the moment that when Tarlok tried to waterbend him, I knew that he was a waterbender. I was like, he's either a waterbender or a robot, because there's no way.
I was thinking for a robot.
I would have
was
loved
honestly
to
thinking
have
he was a
Mecha
robot.
Amon. I'd be so happy. Just mechs everywhere.
So then we
He's
get the
a
next
Terminator.
episode, Turning the Tides, which is an awesome episode. We have the invasion of Republic City, the Equalists.
Wait, Turn the Tides is just off the record here. 'Cause I'm gonna tap this out. Turn the Tides, is that the Is that the part 1 of season finale?
No,
Okay.
that is the penultimate episode to the finale.
Okay.
And in that episode, of course, we get to see, let's see what takes place in that episode. We have all of the people trying to escape the city, which was kind of awesome. The awesome moments with Beifong, because it starts with them trying to find what's his name? They're trying to find Beifong's guards and trying to find Amon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do that, and then the Equalists are taking over, so they've all got to go, and so we have some really cool fight stuff happening. And then, so this is where I have an issue. They make the point of saying this in the finale. We saw the Airbenders get away.
And then in the finale, it's like, no, fuck you, they're back.
Yeah, we saw them get away. Beifong, like, sacrificed herself, and they're Airbenders, and... Which, by the way, I don't understand how Airbenders could defend themselves from a couple of blimps.
Falling so slow, like
I do like the scene where Chief Benlay Beifong does get her bending taken away. I felt that moment was really quite profound, and you know, it's almost like the death of a character, which we'll get to later, but you know, it really was like this moment of defeat that everybody who enjoys the series felt.
But
I felt it, at least.
But it gets spoiled in the finale. I think
That was
that's
kind
what I'm
of
gonna say.
depressing. In
The finale kind of spoils everything, and I think the problem with this series, like I said, because it was going to be a miniseries, the premise of the show itself is about all the descendants of the characters that we love from the old series. But once again, like I said, we get introduced to those characters over like 3 seasons, so we had some time to get to know them. These characters, they're all being introduced in one season,
Yep.
and so we don't get any time to know them.
Again, it goes back to that, you know, it doesn't have time to breathe. It doesn't, you know, take its time at all. We gotta move. We're going.
Yeah,
You know,
plot is happening. Plot is happening all the time.
Nickelodeon's putting us in a really shitty time spot. We gotta make 12 episodes.
So then we have a finale. Oh my gosh, the finale. Oh my gosh.
I mean, first off, before we get to the finale,
Go ahead.
of the series, what is your favorite moment and least favorite moment?
I'll let Chase start since he's the guest.
Of the Avatar: Last Airbender or Legend of Korra?
Legend of Korra, specifically.
Okay. Favorite part. Let's see. Well, Max. Always like the Max. Least favorite. Okay, I will say my favorite scene actually was after Bolin witnesses Korra and Mako kiss, and after that whole crying thing, is we see him drunk, as I use air quotes, which no one can see because there's no video, is that he's sitting there drunken at a table at a bowl of noodles, and I just loved it. It was so, like, cheesy.
With
you kind
Pabu.
of know what's going on. And Pabu was just fat and happy. I really liked that one. And for least favorite, can I just say anything involving like Mako and Asami's like relationship? That was annoying.
Well,
We can do that.
I see. To me, it's more annoying. The love triangle is more annoying than their relationship. I thought their relationship was natural. I really hate in TV series when it's like, boy here, girl here, they're getting together. Brr.
I wouldn't say it felt natural for him to walk out of her father's factory, get run over by her, and be like, let me take you out on a date. Just because you're attractive, I'm attractive, we should date.
And
I
the
felt
script
kinda-
said so.
That was
felt
kind of that
somewhat
way.
forced.
See, but to me, it felt less natural that the way that Mako treated Asami was just awful.
Yeah,
Awful. Just awful.
and especially how...
like the most important man in her life betrays her, and then he spends the next 3 episodes pining over Korra.
Yeah.
Poor
It's like-
Korra.
It's like, my father abandoned me. I need someone to turn to. Mako, you need to be there for her.
My entire
Nah.
life is a lie.
I just want to see if I can nail the Avatar.
The last. I'm gonna say awful joke. It's too much. But for me, the favorite moment, it's gotta be. I'm gonna say anything involving Tenzin. He's my favorite character.
Yes.
I mean, he's hilarious. I like characters like that. I think my least favorite moment, if I had to pick one, I actually kind of find it preposterous just how easily the martial artists beat the airbenders and the firebenders and benders in general. I know that other people have already like, well, bending's just martial arts too, so. But I'm like, it just seems a little unlikely that all of Amon's soldiers, and he has a lot of them in the series, a lot of cronies, would all be that incredible at martial arts.
Actually, can I retract my least favorite scene because I just remembered one.
Oh
Go ahead.
boy, are you about to steal mine?
I think I'm about to, Zach.
Oh shit.
The part where, out of nowhere, all three kids come to save Lin Bei Fong,
God damn it.
and Milo saves the day by farting in everyone's faces.
Is it the farting that you don't like? Because
It's
I like
not-
that.
it's not-
Because
I thought
airbending's
it was like-
overpowered.
Yeah, it looked OP as shit, but
But
I don't know
airbending
if
is
we can
overpowered.
like it
everything-
seemed overpowered.
You could
But-
just, I mean, really, if you wanted to, you could just like suffocate someone with airbending.
But it just seemed ridiculous to have, get away from my dad's ex-girlfriend and all that stuff happen. I'm just like, oh lordy, just please get them off here. Just go.
So, but I think what it is we generally feel like our least favorite parts of these shows are the ones that just feel like they're really shoehorned in.
Yes.
So Zach, what's your favorite part?
My favorite moments of the show would definitely be anything involving the bending tournaments.
Those were awesome.
Those were absolutely great. Those were extremely well choreographed, animated, and they were interesting. As a guy, I know this is blasphemy for a guy to say, but I hate sports. I hate football.
You're on a nerd podcast. I don't think
okay.
you're
Oh,
among
that's so
enemies.
brave to say, Zach.
Okay.
I don't like sports.
I
because
hate football.
stuff.
I hate basketball. I hate baseball. I hate almost every sport. I saw this sport and I go, where can I buy season tickets? This looks amazing. They made it intense. They made it very visually interesting, and I just wanted to see more of it.
You wouldn't be that visually interesting in real life. But
Yeah, well, you know what? You know
There
what?
goes
That's
the
why they
effect.
put it on TV.
because they don't have rubber animation in real life.
You'd be sitting up in the nosebleed section watching fireball after fireball, and you'd be like, who's winning? Fire.
Well, for me, least favorite moment, of course, fart bending. That was just a moment where I go, you've set this tone, guys. This semi-serious, sometimes funny, you can have your joke every once in a while, but mostly serious tone. And for them to dip so low, like 4 to 5-year-old humor type level, I was like, come on, guys,
How dare
how
they
big
have
was
to
that
put
check?
on a
How
cartoon?
big was that check to where y'all had to put that in?
I wouldn't say it's anything.
I felt like Nickelodeon came to them and said, okay, this scene's just, it's just too tense. Can y'all do something that's so fucking stupid that you can, probably get your fans to hate you, but we
I don't
really
think
need
was
it.
that bad. I thought it was bad. It was stupid, but it was not like. To me, I'm more frustrated by like glaring like character issues and shit like that over like. Oh,
I
you
can
fart.
deal with that. I can't deal with
No,
fart
see, I
bending.
can't deal
just,
with like,
oh.
when a character or a story is just.
See,
Yeah,
to me,
so-
fart bending is on the same level as in Michael Bay putting pot jokes, the brownies in Transformers 2. It's that bad.
that
to
bad?
Me. It's
Wow.
that bad to me.
I
It's like
disagree.
it's a slap in the face to me. That's
I thought
how
I'd be
bad it
going
is.
after the show right now. Don't worry, we'll get to that when we talk about the finale. So finale. Let's set the scene. It's the battle of Avatar Island.
No.
Jet Pyro.
No. You have to do the 1940s accent.
Thought it was
The
the
hours.
Penguins.
It's a bold
Meanwhile,
here in the Republic City when the Equalists took over. Then General Iroh and his fleet of Fire Nation ships came to save the day. But what do you know? there are mines and planes, and if you know anything about warfare, planes beat ships. That's basically the setup of the most. It's an awesome scene of just. One of the things that killed me is that this show still pulls all its punches when it comes to death and violence.
No, they'll just throw a parachute in there.
Yeah, everybody has a parachute. Like everybody has a parachute, and everybody jumps out of the way of explosions. That kind of took away from the tension of the awesomeness of that was the little battle scene there.
I mean, for me, I was kind of stunned that as soon as General Iroh, or is it Iroh?
It's Iroh.
Iroh.
Okay, because Last Airbender fucked me up forever on that. When General Iroh fell out of the water, the battle was over. Like, cut away, we're done. Like, Korra rescues him, but we're done. It's like, hold on, I see other ships that are okay.
Yeah.
Well, the commander has now been stuck in the water. He is without his command.
Cool. That's cool and all, but that's on the same logic as in, like, oh no, the Death Star is destroyed. We have
once
the whole
again,
fucking empire.
This comes down to the fact that we couldn't show the entire scene because we're trying to cram it all into 2 episodes instead of like 3 or 4.
Again, I wish this was 2 hours long instead of 1 hour, so you could have some really dramatic fight scenes and just, again, time for the show to breathe.
And so General Iroh goes with his new friends, because you can totally imagine he's going to be in the next season.
Yeah.
He goes with them, and he's just kind of like, okay, we need to come up with a plan.
Did it annoy anyone else that his voice actor was Zuko, and it was the exact same voice?
I was kind of disturbed that he didn't try to masculine it up a little bit for that voice.
That kind of got to me, like, when they first announced him, I'm like, holy shit, it's Zuko. Wait.
But it's Zuko's grandson, so it kind of makes sense that he would have that voice.
But it's the exact same voice. It was.
Well, they're trying to pay homage. They're just trying to pay homage to that character and that guy's performance. Because personally, I think he had one of the best voice performances out of that season, out of that series. Just throwing that out there. Hey, it's hard to take someone seriously when they have that voice, and he managed to pull it off.
Angst.
Yeah. But then we have that. So this is what baffles me is there's the moment when Korra's like, I'm gonna go take care of Amon now.
That really was out of character. It's like, didn't she already do that
what?
earlier in the season? Didn't she learn her lesson?
What are you doing? And then Mako's like, I'll go with her.
What? Why?
And then Asami's just like, you son of a bitch. And I'm just like, yep, that's how I feel right now. I'm like, what a douche. How about you send the general with her, who's probably like a way more badass firebender than fucking Mako. Just guessing. He's a general, he's royal. He's probably had training. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But then so we have Korra's gonna go and find Amon, which it's like what? And then so the general and the Sami and Bolin, they go to a prison camp, or not a prison camp. They go to destroy the airstrip for the planes.
The airfield.
The airfield. Oh, and they just sent out a message to to what's his name, Boomy.
Yeah, Boomy
telling him not to go, to wait.
And he still comes
like
anyway.
An island?
Yeah, they told him to go wait at Red Sand Island.
Yes.
And then they go and they try to destroy the airstrip, and they immediately get electrocuted by a invisible electric fence.
And I loved how Asami's just like, why are there fences here when there's no wire?
And then they just all three step in it at the same time?
That was convenient.
That seems stupid for the general, especially.
They wouldn't think to like, oh, well, maybe there's something here.
Yeah, but you know what I would do? I would have stepped back and thrown a rock.
I would have sent Pabu first.
Or I would have sent a lightning
You
bolt.
bastard.
I don't care. Or
I don't know,
Naga. Naga could take it.
I guess I just play enough D&D to know that when you have to ask a question like that, you should stop and think about it a second.
I like to think they all just rolled a natural 1 for a search check. They're just like, no, it's good, guys. Just let's go.
And they all immediately get captured.
Of course.
And then, of course, we'll get to that. So, meanwhile, you got Korra, and Korra's gonna go fight Amon at the stadium. And first, they end up finding Tarlok. So who wants to vet what happens with Tarlok?
Well, okay, so we go into the prison, and there's Tarlok, and he's like, "Yo, I got some secret information for you."
He's like, remember how I've been a dick this entire show? I'm gonna have a
There's
total
reason for
character
that.
180. Turns out I'm not a bad guy. I'm just misunderstood.
So then he proceeds to tell the truth of who Amon is.
Bum bum bum.
And Amon turns out to be Noah Talk. I'm sorry. Every time I look at
Tarlok's
that name.
older brother, and the son of, was it Yakun?
Yakone.
Yeah,
Yakone, who is also a bloodbender.
So it turns out that Amon is a bloodbender, like I'd predicted.
So
It had to be.
So basically, we're given this elongated flashback that lasts about 7-8 minutes.
Oh, it's pretty long.
Yeah, it's a good time for
Felt kind of long. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think they could have just crunched that down to so we started learning waterbending, then we had a fallout. Does that make sense? Like they kind of he took a long time to tell that story.
So yeah, I agree. So we learn who Amon was, and his father taught them to bloodbend and be brutal as hell, and he didn't want to be brutal, and Amon didn't either. And then one day he just snapped. Is that what you guys got? I mean, he just got over it.
No, I mean in the what I got from it had been building up. Like he'd been building up anger toward his father, and he'd been kind of building up resentment toward bending in general.
Because he
Okay.
realized I have such a powerful ability, and that I'm being forced by my father to use it for this what feels like an evil reason. And even my younger brother, who I just had to bloodbend because my father said so. You wouldn't feel a little bit angered at bending in general, or just have some resentment towards it at all?
Yeah.
And then Amon goes on his quest to.
No. So then, what? They run away. No. Okay, wait.
Amon runs away.
Amon runs away.
And
then-
Tarlok stays.
They assume that he died in the weather.
So
Yes.
I think what happened was Tarlok wanted to. I don't think he wanted to get revenge for his dad. I think he just kind of wanted to take over Republic City, I guess.
Well, he said he kind of began to reject his father's ideas of
Yeah.
taking
Well,
over Republic City.
He's a confused. That's what I'm saying. His character for me is completely muddled. Because they build him up as being basically from the moment that he kidnaps Korra, he's a bad guy. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. No, he was.
He
That-
was,
there's
the
no-
secondary main antagonist. Yeah.
And then immediately after we see him after that's all resolved, which got resolved in 2 episodes, we immediately see him and he's like, turns out I'm not bad.
I mean, I'd still say he is bad. He did some terribly douchey, unnecessary things, and he realized this.
But I think I think what I'm saying is his motives weren't very clear.
They did get kind of hazy, especially because of that flashback, because they made Tarlok seem like, well, I mean, granted, he was a kid, as this idealist, pretty much.
Well, I think he's still an idealist.
Somewhat. I mean, they even kind of touched on that in whenever Korra confronts him, saying, you're becoming just like Amon, and you're becoming just like your brother, and when you think about it.
Well, he didn't know it was Amon until he got captured. So.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, but if we look at it now,
Yeah. That actually explains his anger a lot better.
I mean, granted, he had no idea Amon was his brother, but if we just look at it in retrospect, we can kind of come to that conclusion. Oh, okay. And now,
And so
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, so Korra decides to come up with a genius plan of let's try and expose him. And what I thought immediately at that moment was, yeah, this is gonna work, right? No,
That'll
it's
work.
not. It's obviously going to fail so hard. how do you expose? Like, how are they gonna expose him? He hasn't been exposed yet. Are they gonna there's no way you can force somebody to waterbend, which they
Yeah.
do, to make the plot convenient.
Yeah, it's having him almost drowned, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, well, that happens like later. So yeah, they go to expose him, and he's like, Steve Bloom, let me take off my mask."
Yeah, I mean, that was
okay,
a moment.
you
It's
know
like,
what?
seriously, what proof do you have other than word of mouth?
Oh my gosh, he has a scar on his face. He was telling the truth all along.
Oh, what a twist!
Okay, you know what I was really, really hoping for whenever he slowly took off the mask?
What's that?
That he would actually have no face, and it would all tie into Ko.
You know,
face dealer.
I thought
I
about
really
that.
hoped
That
for
would
it.
have been amazing.
That wasn't gonna happen. I thought about it. I think he'll come back because that character, like, he owes the Avatar some a-holeness.
Yeah. But,
But,
I was just like, oh man, come on. Do it.
Oh come on! They had to zoom in on his eyes where he was like, "Mirror, you know my real name."
I know, and then I'm just like, come on, bring out the face stealer, and that's how he actually knows.
Yeah, and that scar looked so fake,
Yeah.
which it turned out to be. Because I was like, did he do it to? Did he like did he scar himself for this convenience,
I
or
was actually thinking that he did scar himself.
maybe he did fight a firebender?
He could just telepathically bloodbend him and murder him, so.
So yeah, then
Make
he.
more sense to like scar yourself, or to get someone to scar yourself if you're going to put up a story that says, yeah, my face got so fucked by this firebender.
Well, did he ever think he'd have to actually take off his mask and reveal? I mean, he
Obviously
did have.
he did because
the
he was
scar
wearing
on there.
makeup.
Well, yes.
Well, I mean, think
Maybe
about
he
this.
just likes to feel pretty.
Think about this. It's like, what does he win by? I mean, what does he have that it's like, oh, by not having my makeup on, I could do this. Because whenever we see him, he is with his mask on.
I would still wear it just in case.
Yeah.
I mean, does the guy go shopping? Like, do we need to rewatch the series because he's in the background in some shots?
No.
No,
That
probably
would have been
not.
amazing.
That would have been really
Reading
cool
too
if it's
much into
true.
it.
So yeah, then he's like, don't take a step further, Avatar. I've got a special surprise. And it's the Airbenders. And she literally says, we saw them get away.
We saw them stare at the camera.
Get away. Plot convenience.
Yeah,
Not
almost a
Milo.
Deus Ex-
He'll take his fart bending.
I mean, it's almost a Deus Ex Machina, but
Well,
I
it's
mean,
not
I
even,
was
again,
like-
it's resolved so quickly. It's like, and then Mako goes, fuck this shit, lightning.
And they start running on walls like in the Matrix, shooting fire for no reason.
And so
and
they
then
actually
jumping, hibbity doo dah.
they start fighting him on, and they're doing a pretty good job. They knock his ass off. Once they get Tenzin off, and Tenzin knocks his ass off the stage.
Yeah, that was kind of depressing because Amon has throughout the entire series been the ultimate badass. Like,
Yeah, but once again,
fire gets thrown at him, he's walking away like a boss, just not, giving a
once
crap.
again, airbending is OP.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna? I mean, unless he can quit. Remember, you do have to concentrate to use bloodbending.
Yeah, but why doesn't he bloodbend? Well, that would give him away.
Well, yes,
yeah.
that's exactly why.
Yeah, there you go. So that makes sense. So yeah, so it's like, Tenzin, go save the kids and blah blah blah. So Tenzin's like, okay.
Get these kids out of this show because the last time we saw them, they were fart bending.
And so
Prison
Mako,
break. Yep.
so Mako and Korra are running out and they're trying to escape, and they go to their old training room. And this is a annoying scene for me, is that Korra looks scared of Amon, and I'm like, didn't you get over this?
2 minutes ago, you were like, "Let's go, motherfucker," and now you're like, "I hope he doesn't find me." What?
And then so they get out, they're fighting him. I like when so he starts bloodbending. He's bloodbending Mako and Korra, and then
Here comes the moment that they again spoiled in the
So-
season finale teaser.
the lieutenant walks in.
No,
Actually, I didn't see it.
no, not yet.
Sorry.
So, well, technically
Sparky,
yes. But,
Sparky Stickman.
so,
Sparky Stick Man.
so then Amon takes away Korra's bending.
What?
Yes.
No, the lieutenant goes in there first. I remember.
No.
No. He took the bending.
Okay, then.
And then he's about to force
Mako.
Mako.
Mako. God, say his name right. Sorry.
He's about to force Mako
There we go.
to make, into taking his own bending, and then he shoots lightning at Amon, hitting him, and then what happens then?
I think you are confused because I'm pretty sure that the Sparky Sparkman gets owned before that.
Yeah, that's
No.
what happened.
What?
Yeah. Sparky Sparkman comes in there. He sees him waterbending, and he's like, "You are a waterbender."
That's
and he's
right.
Like,
Okay.
Steve Bloom's like, "You've been useful far enough," and then he throws him against the wall
Throws
and
him across
crushes
the
him.
room.
See, I really again, and this is my twisted psyche. I'd really like for Amon to snap his neck using bloodbending and then throw him against that wall.
Zach, we
he-
had talked about this
crushed
before.
him.
This is my mental psyche just
He crushed
wanting to
him.
go
He's dead.
dark. He is dead?
Yes.
Yeah, Zach, he's dead.
Dude, did you see a parachute come out of there?
I mean, I did see
He's
his legs and
clearly
arms
dead.
bending.
Amon was done
Very
with him.
weird.
He wasn't just Amon killed him.
I
He's
still
dead.
yeah. So I mean, at least we do have a good death there. And then going back, he nearly forces him to take his own bending, and then
Yeah.
he shoots lightning out, which causes Amon to get knocked back, and then he picks up Korra, and we're like,
Gotta
get
run.
the fuck out of here. And they're in a
Back
hallway, and of course Amon's like, simple fools, your tricks cannot harm me. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
And so he's bloodbending Mako, and he's about to take Mako's bending, and then Korra airbends.
In
Yay!
an
Yay.
epic moment that was like
So everything gets
Deus Ex
resolved in
Machina.
the same 5 minutes. 4 of the different plots get resolved. Korra gets her
Yay.
airbending. We find out who Amon was. Amon gets outed and defeated. Like, so yes, she airbends him out the window.
Sparta!
Yeah, and then everyone sees him fall in the water, and they're like, "The Avatar just killed her."
And then we see him, of course, because every waterbender seems to do it, calls themselves to create a giant pillar of water.
Well, I thought that was
Shoot out of
I was
nowhere.
I was like, was he choking that Bradley?
I just love how they always fall back on the what can this waterbender do to look really impressive? Let's make a
Yep.
giant water fountain and they'll be in the
Yep.
middle of it.
He gives it away. He gives away that he's a waterbender, and so everyone sees, and his makeup's come off. They're like, "Yeah, better."
That wasn't a scar at all. It was just makeup.
Let's see who Amon really is.
I
Old
think
man
he was just hanging out with
Jenkins.
Tano too much.
Old man. See, that's the Scooby Doo. Old man Jenkins.
Aww.
so yeah.
So how does he get away again?
Yeah, he swims away.
Yes.
He swims back to Avatar Island, which is his base.
Wait, hold on. He just swims away and no one goes after him.
Well, I mean, he's waterbending in there.
Okay, I was
Nothing off
really
that.
trying to remember how he got away,
Yes,
and then
yes. A waterbender decided nah, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna swim normally. I'm gonna doggy paddle out of here.
Just
That's
throwing this
exactly
up
what
there, we
happens.
kind of Iroh and whatever, they took care of the planes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and crashing
That's
an
kinda cool.
airplane into Avatar Aang's statue.
Hey, he thanks Aang.
I mean, he did, but it's
That
like,
was
come
cool.
on, man.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
and it was kind of weird to hear that voice say it though.
Of course it was.
Again, of course. It's Zuko.
And so, she, what's his face, Noah Talk, aka Amon, goes and gets Tarlok, and he's like, "You're the only one I have left now. Let's go, start a new
Right.
life." And so they get in a speedboat.
Yeah, where are they gonna go?
I'm on a boat.
I mean,
They're
hey,
going
what happened to your army of blimps? They just miraculously
Well,
disappeared
it's a
from.
lot easier to
entire
track a
show.
giant fucking blimp than a motorboat.
Yeah, but think about this. They just up and disappeared.
Yeah, so they jump in their motorboat and they're going, and No Talk's all like, blah blah blah. You're the last person I have, brother. It's gonna be like old times.
The road again.
And then Tarlok's like, fuzzy sad vision.
It'll be just like old times.
That's right.
See, okay, I really like this scene.
Oh, the scene was brilliant. If they had got some build up to it.
Yeah, if there
I
was
found there was still
like,
plenty of build-up.
I mean, I still,
Once again, I don't know Tarlok well enough to there to have been plenty of build up. I don't think we knew him on enough to be plenty of build up. It felt like, remember how long it took us to even see? We didn't get to see Lord Ozai until season 2.
Yeah.
Of the original series.
or in the film, 35 minutes in.
Dude, I'm having really bad memory. There was a film.
So anyway, I really like this scene because it's the moment where you're in Marlock's, is that his name?
Tarlok and Noah Talk.
No,
Yes.
Tarlok. You're in Tarlok's POV, and he looks at
brother.
He looks at his brother, and then he looks at the glove, and back to his brother, and back to the glove. So he picks up the glove, and he says it'll be just like old times. He screws off the tank for the gas, and then you see this shot of Amon, and he has this tear go down his cheek, and it's this really haunting moment where you realize, he's realizing he's human again. He doesn't even hardly remember his original name.
And the fact he even states, it's been weird hearing my name again, my actual name.
Yeah. It's kind of like you're giving this person, a masked figure, some humanity. And then Tarlok blows up the boat, killing himself and Amon.
Or does he? Bum, bum, bum.
Or they're going to retcon it in season 2 going, oh no, he survived, and he's dead.
They've stated that each season, once they had multiple seasons, they stated that each one will have its own unique villain.
That's good. I mean,
So they're not going to bring back
think
Amon.
by killing them off, it really sets a precedent for... I mean, think about it. This is a kid show, and they just killed off 3 characters in one episode. Brutally. An explosion, and then bloodbending them and throwing them against the wall.
Once again, I don't feel like any of the characters who died earned their deaths.
Well, I didn't
all.
want Amon
Okay,
to die.
what was
I just want him to
Sparky
go to
Stickman's
jail.
name?
Do what?
What was Sparky Stickman's name? What was his motivation? Why
Uh,
was
Sparky
he a bad guy? Why was he an
Sparky
equalist? What do we know
Stickman.
about him?
We know enough that he joined the Equalist, and he was moved by Amon enough that we saw him bloodbend, and he just disowns the Equalist movement and is like, you're a liar, I'm gonna try to fight you. Despite the fact I saw you bloodbend these 2 people, the Avatar even, the strongest person in existence, I'm gonna try to fight you. He does that. He gets his ass kicked.
I'm sorry,
But-
once again, I don't feel like it was earned. I don't feel like any of this was earned.
I mean, like, okay, we saw him get his ass kicked by nearly everybody, even Naga.
Yeah, he's not even, and I don't know. I just feel like, once again, it's the fact this is a miniseries. None of these characters that died were given any breathing room to have any kind of development where we actually know. We're kind of guessing and kind of estimating and kind of drawing on what clues we have to try and guess their motives, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's 100% clear in any direction for any of these characters.
I mean,
Like, what was Amon's goal?
Amon's goal was to equalize
was it
the
just
entire
to get rid
world.
of bending? I mean, it
Yeah.
just seems. I don't
his
know.
goal was to rid benders of their abilities. That's what
But
he
that's such
said.
I mean, this is kind of going back to, spoilers, Game of Thrones, where, that chick asks Rob, what is your goal? Well, we're gonna, fight our way to King's Landing. And then she goes, and then what? I mean, you almost have that same moment here. Of, what are you gonna do, Amon? I'm gonna equalize the world. And then what?
I don't know. It just for me, I feel like it's once again, I think all of the villains, almost all the villains in the other series, all the characters in the other series, like, think of the character arcs that we got for Zuko and
Yeah, because you had 3 seasons.
and-
We had
three
three
seasons.
well, think of the
seasons.
character arc we got with his sister.
2 seasons.
We didn't really. The only character that I'd say the only like main character I'd say we didn't get an arc with is Ozai.
I mean, again, you're talking about a show that each season was 24 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if you're gonna play fair, cut 12 episodes from
I'm
that
not.
series.
It's not about fair. I'm just trying not to be. I'm not gonna say that this show like it ended on like a masterpiece moment. It's definitely. Like, it's one of my favorite shows. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like once again, you can say yeah but that's just an excuse, man.
Meh.
I don't. Meh. I mean that's fine. I'm just saying that's how I kind of feel about it.
I mean, I am probably gonna retract my statement saying it's the best show on like TV, non-HBO.
Well, it's not on TV anymore.
Yeah, I mean, going after, because like after seeing the season finale, I was like, oh my god, that's the best episode ever. Ah, like that, and everybody was looking at me like, are you like okay? And and after going back and watching it again, sort of for a second time, and then talking about it here, it's like, yeah, it's got some problems, but I still do enjoy
it
it.
has more plot holes than the Avengers.
Yes, it does. I'll agree with that. But I
boy,
enjoyed
not this
this
discussion.
more than the Avengers. Hey, you can check out our first podcast for my rant on that.
No,
No.
because I saw it with you, and just fuck off. Anyway.
Thank you. It's nice to know. See, Zach. You're the one that's crazy.
I
But-
just wanted to go in there and watch the Hulk beat the crap out of people, but no, I got to hear Zach every 10 minutes. That doesn't make sense. They can't do that. How does Loki know that just because there's thunder that Thor's gonna be there? Thor's the god of thunder.
Because
Yeah, but
it's
how
magic.
did he get... Okay, we're
Literally,
getting off topic.
You can literally use the easiest sci-fi answer to that, which is magic.
Exactly.
The script
Magic.
says-
I ain't gotta explain shit.
Is it because the script said so? What's that on the ground? Is that the script? Did you read the
Oh,
script?
what's that? What's that? You watch Red Letter Media too, and that's the only thing you will quote from them?
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, did I just hit a big heartstring right there?
So
I have no
Let's bring
heartstrings left after that triple bypass surgery.
let's
right in the feels.
let's bring it back up. For a second.
Let's bring it in.
What do you want to see in the next season?
More time
X.
for character development, more time to breathe. I mean, the amount of action in this season was great. It felt, well timed. Like all the lengths of the fight scenes didn't feel too long, it didn't feel too short. It felt right. So really the only thing I really want is more time to the characters and more of that plot.
I want pirates.
Seriously.
No, I'm just. But I guess what I'm saying is, like, I was more making a joke about the pirate episode. Yeah, it's what I want out of the next season is I'm hoping that it's going to be a full season, like 24 episodes. I'll take 20 episodes. I will. I'll take it.
I mean, yeah, I'd much rather have a season that has 20, 24 in that range of an episode than 12.
It would give us some time for, like we said, character development is what we need. We see plot development. There could be more than one plot, and it doesn't all need to be resolved at the same time.
I mean, I do also want some more lead-in to a third season. Again, going
Yeah.
back, at the end of this season, everything is resolved. There is
yeah.
nothing saying, stay tuned,
Yeah.
next season. Nothing!
For a minute, I thought it was going to be about Katara was going to not Katara, sorry, Korra. Korra lost her power, and she was going to have to go on some type of quest in the second season to get it back. But nope. Deus
No.
Ex
Come on,
Aang.
Okay, I'm kind of glad they didn't do that.
Yes, me too.
No,
But
I,
I thought
I
that
just
was-
love how, like Avatar Roku and The Last Airbender is like, the avatars have learned the elements thousands of times before. And Aang is just like, no, I'm just going to energy bend to this. I don't care.
Energy bend, all the things.
Oh, hey, Lynn, guess what I can do? Blah, metal bend. There you go.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that she uses her powers to help the people who lost their powers?
Maybe.
That's what I hope. I hope Lei Beifong and all those people, because that would be, you know, the thing the Avatar should be focusing on. I hope it's not all about character shit in terms of like romance shit.
No, she's got the energy bin Mako. So I don't even know where I'm going with it.
Mako, let's go to a date onto the opera. But what about all the people that need their bending back? We can do that next week.
I'm a hormone raging 17-year-old. No.
Well,
Yeah, I felt like
Yeah.
that was resolved
oh,
way too
and
easily.
also, okay, one last thing. We give Lin Beifong her bending back.
Yeah, I mean, I
Everybody
think what
okay? Everybody okay with that? I mean,
you know, if I want to talk
was
about like more abstract things or more specific things that I want to see, I already made kind of the joke about pirates. Let's get kind of silly now. What do you want to see as the plot? I want to see an episode where I want to see more to do with the gangs, the Triple Triad. I want to see an episode about that, like where we actually get to see their organization, like get to like make maybe Korra has to go undercover or something. I don't know. I want to see an episode. Of course, we got to have an episode that's all about the Airbenders, the Airbending family. We got to have an episode about Beifong and Tenzin and the wife.
And Boomy.
Yeah, we got to have flashback episodes. We got to have Boomy.
Mm-hmm.
We got to have
It definitely needs more flashbacks of Sokka.
Korra's, of course.
Now let me tell you about my
flashbacks in general. Yeah, I want to see Korra's family, get to know her parents a little better. You should have one episode.
Yeah, because they were in the first episode and the last episode, and they did basically nothing. There is no, like, I mean, they're there for room meat.
The parents were very important in the first series.
Yeah.
If you remember, I think the only parent that wasn't like the only parents that weren't very important were Toph's. Trying to think what else I want to see. Another pro bending tournament, maybe.
Yes.
Um,
Please, and can I have some more?
Can we go on? Can we travel? Because I want to see what the rest of the world's like.
I would actually like to see the rest of the world. I'm tired of Republic City. I don't want to see Republic City.
I mean, I imagine that's what's going to happen with season 2, is that they're going to probably go around doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't want a retread of
No.
Last Airbender. I don't
It's not
want
going to
a
happen
retread
like
of
that.
It's not going to be the same. It's probably going to be more like a tour where she's like going to meet the world. That makes sense.
And, you know, righting the wrongs.
Yeah, she's going to help people and teach people things. Trying to think what else would be cool. I want to, like I said, I want to learn more about this world in terms of just like what the normal people are like. Because we spend so much time on the plot that we don't get a lot of the flavor of this world. I mean, we get a lot of it. It's pretty flavorful, but I want to taste more of that delicious flavor.
We need more.
More. I think that pretty much sums up that's we definitely want more. If there's anything, no fart bending, obviously. That's the top thing.
Yes.
No more fart bending.
Please, no more fart bending. I like this show. Please, I understand you have to make it for kids, but I don't want to have to get a lobotomy to enjoy it.
Yeah. But Bolin needs to have a couple episodes where he can be kind of, you know, have a chick or something. I don't know. Man, remember how much of a ladies' man Sokka was?
It would be
We
nice
need
for
more
him to get
Brolin.
crush. Brolin.
We need Brolin.
Less brooding from Mako. Less
There we go.
brooding. Less brooding. Less. I remember the episode where they're both staring out the window. At the end of them staring out the window, like the end of the second or third episode.
Yeah.
All I could think was it's like Korra stares out the window and she's like, fighting! And he stares out the window and it's like, Korra. It's just like, I hate it. I just, he's such a, None of the characters are like, I'm just throwing this out there. None of the characters ever made me frustrated besides Katara in the first series. Like there was never a moment where I was like, I hate this guy. I hate everything this person says or does.
Hope bending.
I mean, we are complaining a lot, but I mean, I would just like to say I still, love this series as much as complaining. Yeah.
I think we did say our favorite things, and as I've said, I really love the series. I would, Zach, you want to say it's not your favorite show on television out of HBO? I'd probably say it's probably the best show.
I have to say Game of Thrones is just
yeah. I mean, Game of Thrones
just
is
a little
fantastic.
bit above it. I mean,
Again,
we are talking about comparing a 23-minute, 12-episode Nickelodeon network show to a 52-minute, 10-episode.
It's an hour.
It's well, no, it's 52.
They don't have commercials.
Yeah, 52, 53 minutes, and then you have the intro and outro stuff like next time on, and
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Fair enough.
it's 52 minutes. Fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And also a show that has what, like 30, 40 million for its show.
Yeah.
I don't know what the production budget is for Legend of Korra, but I can pretty damn well tell you it's not 30 to 40 million.
No, and there's no Sean Bean, so that's always a.
And there is no Tyrion, so.
Well, if there was Sean Bean, he'd probably die.
Yeah, I know.
And there's no tits and violence and.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I usually go forward if there's like too much tits. They're just like, this is just gonna be about tits. Fast forward. Yeah, I can see tits on the internet when I want to see tits.
Hey, all you have to do is just hit Rule 34 at Legend of Korra.
And just like that, our conversation has been destroyed by a mentioning of Rule 34.
Yeah, I'm kind of yeah.
I think this is all winding down, and I just want to say thank you guys. Thank anybody out there who's listening. I want to thank Zach for helping me host this, and I want to thank our first guest, Chase.
It's a pleasure.
It was definitely a pleasure, and I'd like to hope that you join us again sometime soon.
Oh, I may. Who knows? Whatever the future brings.
Indeedly, dude. So yeah, guys, that's it. Any parting words?
Penis.
Flamio, hot man.
There we go, Flamio Hot Man. See, Zach, that's how you do it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me think of another one.
Bah.